I mean, look at this body language. This lady doesn't like answering all these personal questions.
All right, so Maya, you're about to take Vanity Fair's Proust Questionnaire. You will be asked 35 questions in rapid succession in order to reveal your true nature. Once a question has been read out, you have 5 seconds to answer before we move on. Upon completion of all 35 questions, you will have a chance to reflect and even correct your answers. You ready?
I mean, no, of course not. This is so intense. Why, Vanity Fair? Why?
What is your idea of perfect happiness?
Contentment.
What is your greatest fear?
Choking to death.
What is a trait you most deplore in yourself?
Self-doubt.
What is a trait you most deplore in others?
Selfishness.
Which living person do you most admire?
My dad.
What is your greatest extravagance?
Greatest extravagance? I don't know. A home.
What is your current state of mind?
What is my current state of mind? I'm okay.
What do you consider to be the most overrated virtue?
Come back to me on that one.
On what occasion do you lie?
When I'm being interviewed on a camera, answering questions that feel personal.
What do you dislike most about your appearance?
I want calf muscles.
Which living person do you most despise?
Donald Trump.
What is the quality that you most like in a man?
Kindness.
What is the quality you most like in a woman?
The ability to be there for another, to nurture.
Which words or phrases do you most overuse?
I think we all say thank you so much too much.
Who or what is the greatest love of your life?
My dad.
When and where were you happiest?
Every time I met one of my babies, it's a pretty great joy.
Which talent would you most like to have?
To be able to sit down and play any instrument.
If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
Oh boy. I'd like to become a better listener.
What do you consider your greatest achievement?
My kids and Saturday Night Live.
If you were to die and come back as a person or a thing, what would it be?
My instinct is to say BEYONCE because I want to be able to perform like that, but I don't know her personally, and she should be allowed to be herself. No one should come back as her. But boy, it looks like a lot of fun.
Where would you most like to live?
Hawaii.
What is your most treasured possession?
Prince's belly chain.
What do you regard as the lowest depth of misery?
Having no hope.
What is your favorite occupation?
I like what I do. I like performing. I don't like all the other stuff, but I like the performing part. I don't like being on camera, but I like performing.
What is your most marked characteristic?
Like physically, other than my moles, or what? Like
what
me,
do you
my
most
personality.
value in your friends?
Oh,
Sorry.
that was my answer. That was my answer. Okay.
What do you most value in your friends?
Feeling seen and laughing.
Who are your favorite writers?
I would say Anne Lamott.
Who is your hero of fiction?
Book hero? Well, I do love Rosie from Anne Lamott's book, Rosie, but I kind of love her mom more.
Which historical figure do you most identify with?
There ain't nobody like this. Maybe I'd go Mae West, but that's not right. I wish it were Madeline Kahn.
Who are your heroes in real life?
My nanny, who became more of my wife The word nanny sounds really archaic and lame and doesn't provide what I've experienced, which is creating your own family in a time where we don't live in villages anymore, and the best thing you can give a child is a sense of community.
What are your favorite names?
My kids' names are my favorite names. I love my mom's name, Minnie, and I love that she was named after her grandmother, Minnie.
What is it that you most dislike?
There's a lot I dislike. I'm just going to be honest with you about that one. My answer to that is rudeness. I see no point in it. Unless someone is taking advantage of me, that's when I pounce.
What is your greatest regret?
Not buying an apartment in New York.
How would you like to die?
I don't want to.
What is your motto?
Do people have mottos? I feel like if I had a motto, I'd be happier. I think the day that I have a motto is the day that I've made it as a human being.
All right, that completes the Proust questionnaire.
Oh, thank God. That was awful.
What made that so awful?
I don't like having to share privacy publicly. Every once in a while, I think it's okay, but I guess I've realized that I like it on my own terms.
Well, having said that, do you mind if I dig in on a couple of these?
It's too late. We've already done it. Go for it.
When I asked, what do you consider to be the most overrated virtue? You said,
come back to me on that one.
I'm coming back to you. What do you think is the most overrated virtue? Or why do you find that question difficult to answer?
I guess I find it difficult to answer because it's sort of picking at people's and maybe well-intentioned ideas, but maybe not all virtues are well-intentioned. Maybe maybe I'm coming at it from the wrong angle. I'm drawing a blank. It's weird. Am I not a virtuous person? Is that what's wrong with me?
You said your greatest fear is
choking to death.
Why is that?
I don't know, which terrifies me beyond repair. My guess is it simply makes me think I'm going to die if I can't breathe. I think that's a fair assessment. And I like being alive, and I like being able to breathe.
You said that the trait you most deplore in yourself is
self-doubt.
When do you experience self-doubt?
I think sometimes we hardwire ourselves early on to not be so kind to ourselves. And I don't think I'm alone in that. So sometimes it's just a matter of looking at things as though I were looking at someone I love outside of myself. That really helps.
You said you lie.
When I'm being interviewed on a camera, answering questions that feel personal.
Did you lie on any of these questions?
Sure. I mean, I think that sometimes in these situations, my instinct over the years has been to make it more funny than serious, because I don't want to seem like a sad sack, and I'm also protecting myself. I'm sensitive, man. I'm sensitive. So I try to protect the things that I know I'm not going to be able to handle, but I'm also fiercely protective of my loved ones. And so I try to keep this about work. And it's confusing because we live in a time when people want to know what you smell like. And, I could have easily done this in the center of my home with people buzzing around me. And some people are into that. I'm not into that. So I guess, yeah, I'm a granny like that.
Why do you think people say thank you too much, which I happen to agree with you on?
Well, it's not that they say thank you too much. I was being more specific to the phrase, thank you so much. We all say thank you so much too much, which can sometimes sound incredibly insincere, especially when it's said dead-faced with vocal fry. Thank you so much. That does not sound sincere to me, and that one gets me every time. I say thank you so much all the time too. but I try to mean it. I wish, sometimes I try to find variety in it, but I notice there is a very lazy way of showing appreciation, which is like, oh, you don't really mean that, but you're supposed to be nice. So you're saying it to sound like you're a nice person, but you're not.
You said that you consider
my kids and Saturday Night Live
to be your greatest achievements. Why is that?
It was always a dream of mine to have kids, and I think probably in the back of my mind to be part of a big family. And I can't believe that I was able to have that in my life, and that, when I think back to all the hard things about being pregnant or delivering a child, I can't believe I did it. And I guess the same goes for Saturday Night Live, because it was also a childhood dream. I feel really proud of myself that I showed up for that. And again, knowing what I know now about working there and how all-encompassing it was, I can't believe I did it. It was like, I always joke with my girlfriends from there that were from like a comedy army. Like, we really went through everything together, and it was so physical and so emotional and really hard work. So I think now that I'm tired, it looks much harder from afar.
Did you say your most treasured possession was
Prince's belly chain? Yes.
And if so, is there a story behind that?
I've had this incredible experience getting to know this band that happened to be my heroes. My now friend Joey is the son of Bobby Z, who is Prince's drummer from The Revolution. Joey and I worked together on something, and as a thank you gift at the end, he presented me with a little box that was wrapped in a purple velvet, kind of lavender velvet bag. It's a beautiful, thick gold chain that he wore, like, around his hips. In the video for the song Mountains, you can see it kind of peeking out of his little black cutout in his trousers around that, like, that really good meat when, like, men are really developed and they have that, like, that cut right there. It does not fit my belly. So I wear it as a necklace sometimes.
You said
there's a lot I dislike.
Can you elaborate?
I think I finally came around to rudeness. I just can't stand it. I guess I got a lot of my personal traits from my dad. My dad is very much a people person, and I think, if anything, he really strives to make people comfortable. And I think when you're looking at a situation from that point of view, I know that being selfish in a situation like that is really just and it's usually, from people that can't help themselves or don't know any better. But it doesn't cease to make my blood boil. I also don't like it when people ask me if they can touch my hair, but that's gotten better over the years.
Would you like to come up with a motto, or should we come back to you for some other time?
I'd love to come up with a motto. Listen, if you're that person that's like, hey, here's my motto, and then it's like the thing you say that you're known for, that's tits. Maybe my motto is that's tits.
Do you feel like these 35 questions helped reveal something about your true nature?
Maybe. I think these questions feel more intense than normal, but maybe it's the Proust of it all. Maybe I feel like, oh shit, they're gonna find me out.